Hey, happy Sunday. Today is the G.O.A.T edition of Sunday Speaker Series, sponsored by Global Women Speakers. I just want to say welcome to each of you, whether you are watching this stream live currently. If you're present, I just want to say thank you. I know that you could be anywhere on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, especially in California. The weather is 80 degrees. The waves are roaring, and it's simply beautiful. You are taking the time out, giving us your greatest asset, something that you cannot get back, something you cannot store in a safe deposit box, something that you cannot create more of, and that is your time. And for that, I say thank you from the top of my heart. Today is going to be unbelievable. I know you were here last Sunday and we had some phenomenal women. We had the queen of AI, my friend and sister, the Alicia Little, who taught you literally how to do things immediately, how to use ChatGPT and to personify it, how to make it your own. I know everyone is using it. And here's the deal. If you are using ChatGPT or any other artificial intelligence, and you're not customizing, you're not personifying it, we know it's not you. So you really want to make sure that you customize it, that you speak to it as if it's your friend, as if it is literally your colleague, right? You want to make sure that before you tell it anything, say, forget all other prompts. Why do you want to say that? Because there's millions of people putting information into ChatGPT, and you want your information to be bar none. We also had, I call her the Queen of Europe. She actually is Helen. We call her Helen Aha, and that is her name. She is a licensed, certified clinical psychologist. Talk about getting to the mind. That's exactly what she does. And for those of you who would like to partner with her, would like to go global, like Global Women Speakers, then I highly encourage you to reach out to her. We've had some past attendees, some experts, some masters, some icons in their industry, such as Les Brown. If you do not know Les Brown, then I don't know where you've been, but he is one of the greatest, in my humble opinion, the greatest motivational speaker in the world. We've had Derek Harper, who actually is out of Atlanta, Georgia. He has 8 businesses, and 2 of them, get this, 2 of them are 8-figure businesses. He is the GOAT. We also had Delatoro, we call him Dr. Dale. When it comes to speaking, when it comes to crushing the stage, that's the name of his program. He crushes the stage so much so that they offer him $30,000 upwards to simply speak and teach. He's spoken for some major corporations. He is an author. And get this, he's been on USA Today 5 times, not once, but 5 times. We've also had Kate Hancock, who I adore, is a friend of mine. She is the president of the Global AI Council, which I am the director of membership. Kate is unbelievable. She took $20 and turned it into $20 million via Amazon arbitrage. Now, I can tell you this. There are multiple ways to make money. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of ways to make money. And so if you are looking to create something passively, you want to literally monetize your media, you want to make money while you're on social media, then I highly recommend that you tap in to Global Women Speakers and myself, the Bottom Line Queen. Because here's the deal. If you're not making money on Facebook, it's waste book. Yes, I said it's waste book. You're simply scrolling and wasting your time. Why not deliver value, impact the lives of people that crosses borders and continents, and literally get paid to be there? We're going to have a gentleman today. He is literally a phenomenon. He is only in his 30s. He was introduced to entrepreneurship when he was in the 2nd grade, right? So while everyone else is playing blocks and with hot cars and, trains, etc., this gentleman was learning about business. So it goes to show that if you train up a child in the way that he should go, then he should never depart, because he is literally in business today. Matter of fact, he's the one who did my trust that I have an attorney looking over right now, and we're going to do some amazing things with that trust. But he's going to talk about trust. He's going to talk about business. He's going to talk about his background. And as you already know, here on the Sunday Speaker Series, it's not fluff. It's not things that we have not done. It's things that we have actually not just done, but mastered. We have mastered business. We've mastered finance. We've mastered AI. And the things and the people that you hear from Sunday Speaker Series will be bar none the absolute best. We are aligned with people who operate with integrity. We are totally collaborating with people who are truly transformational, not just for themselves. They've already transformed themselves, but they're constantly growing, right? And they're pouring their knowledge, their expertise, their genius into the lives, into the minds of other people. And I could not say thank you enough, how grateful I am for you being here. And for those of you who do not know, my name is Dr. Tina D. Lewis. I am a native of Southern California. I call myself a mermaid, self-proclaimed. I love water, anything dealing with beaches, lakes, seas, yachts, paddle boards. I am absolutely there. Matter of fact, I'm headed out to Dubai in just 48 hours. Yes, we're going to have Global Con again. It won't be I can't say it will not be in Dubai because the women of Global Women Speakers are voting now. But we had some amazing conferences there, and Dubai is just simply beautiful. 3 reasons why you would want to go to Dubai. Number 1, pristine. It's no crime. And the beaches, the water. Those are 3. I can name more, but I'm going to save those for later. Right now, I want to move out the forefront, and I want to introduce you to a gentleman that goes by the name of DJ Bay. We're not talking about DJ like music, even though he does a little of that too. We're talking about his name is DJ Bay. He is a native Indian, and he's going to talk about trust. He's going to talk about business. And so you may know a little of something. This Sunday, I said super, it is super, but Sunday Speaker Series, ladies and gentlemen, is not just for masters, not just for icons. It is actually for entrepreneurs. It's for amateurs, because every pro was once an amateur. And so this information, you may be just starting your business, or you may be already making 7-figure a year or even 7-figure monthly income like some of us. Here's the deal. Today, I want you to grab your paper. I want you to get your pen. I'm the host, and I have my pen and paper, because the nuggets, the gems, right? The genius that these special guest drops is bar none. I'm going to ask DJ Bay to come to the forefront, and I am going to ask him to share not what he shares all the time. He has a podcast called, I'm not even going to tell you. I'm going to let him tell you. Let me just bring DJ Bay to the front. DJ Bay, are you there?
Peace. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, DJ. How are you?
All is well.
We could, can you turn your volume up a little bit, DJ?
Yes, I
For
can.
the people in the back. I love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you a gentleman who I have known for a short period of time. I met him in December of 2023. I instantaneously fell in love with him based on his knowledge, his demeanor, his posture, and his influence. Like, he is totally, I would say, a gentleman of caliber, if that makes sense. But I want you to stay tuned, because I don't have to tell you why I fell in love with him. I'm going to let you guys know that you will too. And once he begins sharing his knowledge, you will be able to see and garner what it is that he has to offer. So DJ Bay, are you present? The founder, the creator of Trust Fund Baby. Are you present?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Yes. All right. Fantastic. Well, let's get this party started, DJ Bay.
Okay. So
that's perfect, DJ. I love the audio. Everything is good. If you can have a little more lighting, that'd be great. You like a figurine right now.
Actually, only thing I could do is open the windows because of where I'm at. I am
okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's try that. Let's see how that looks. I want the people to see you. If you open the blinds on each side, I think it'll give us a little more lighting.
That's better.
So, ladies and gentlemen, while he's taking care of the lighting, I want to share some things with you. global women speakers. We're headed to Maldives, to Bali, to Dubai. We're doing a TED Talk in October. There's so many things that are happening. So if you're not on our mailing list, if you're not connected with global women speakers, I highly recommend you do so by going right here to globalwomenspeakers.com. Right? globalwomenspeakers.com. Fill out the intake form, and we have so much in store for you. But it's not about us right now. I'm going to ask DJ Bay to simply tell us who you are. Who is DJ Bay?
Well, peace, everyone. I am DJ Bay. I am the founder of Trust Fund Baby, also the Atum Academy, which it is pretty much the way I explain it is most people have been able to build a course or specialize in a specific field. Because of my education, I am fortunate enough to have dealt in so many different fields that we have made an academy, pretty much an Ivy League school that allows people to assert themselves in a position where they can instantaneously start transitioning into wealth. So I've been able to help a lot of people change their financial situation within 30 days. I myself.
Hold on Sunday Speaker Series, we have something called pause break. Like you can't just run over that. You said change financial situations in 30 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can't just run over that because we have been indoctrinated by school to make 6 figures in 12 months. But if you can have instantaneous results and you can help people change their financial situation in just 1 month, I mean, that's incredible. So I love that. So you can change the financial status of individuals within a 30-day time. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means if someone was to reach out to you and say, hey, DJ Bay, if they were to go to Trust Fund Baby and they were, matter of fact, let me go ahead and put your website up so people can go to the website and just check it out, right? So Work with DJ Bay. If someone was to go to Work with DJ Bay and they started August 1st, are you telling me that by August 31st or August 30th, that there would be a change?
Yep, as long as they follow all of the steps. And I can explain the steps. It's simple. It's just we break down everything into weeks. So from a 5 to 7 day period, depending on what it is that we're doing, we compound things out. Initially, we start with credit. And after we make sure that we have your credit being compounded out, we have an expedited credit process. So we usually can get people transitions between 7 to 14 days. And I do not favor to operate in credit. It's just I understand it's a necessary need in order to give people the ability to maneuver, right? So we deal with that. We examine whatever your business, your cash flow models are, and we help you to expand in those and even give you more opportunities in order for you to make more money through some of the opportunities we have in our network. And then we make sure that you have a trust. That way that all your assets are protected. And
break. You said the T word.
Yes, ma'am.
You said the T word, so trust. So I just want to say thank you publicly, for helping me with my trust to help me protect my assets, including, my businesses, 4 of my businesses, and some other assets that I have. So I just want to say thank you for that. I appreciate it. Matter of fact, mail my paperwork tomorrow morning, please. Thank you.
I just got back from Tennessee. I was in the mountains. I hardly had service.
All right. And so you said the T word, so trust. I can say that during my tenure of being mentored by literally billionaires, anywhere from Damon Johns to Mark Cuban, spending time with Oprah, as well as our president candidate. I heard about trust all the time, but I didn't know what it was. I thought that I had to have massive assets, meaning, property, real estate, CDs, and all of these things before I can get a trust. And I found out that that's not totally accurate. And so I share that because I would love for you to debunk a lot of myths around trust. Okay. And so, but before you do, I want to know, why should they listen to you, and who are you? What makes you an expert or a GOAT, if you will? Because this is the GOAT series, a Sunday Speaker Series. What makes you the GOAT when it comes to trust?
Okay, so I can start from the beginning. Before me, my family, I grew up in trust. My grandparents were the first to sign a treaty with the United States back in 1778. I am a Lenape
Pause
American.
break, pause break. You say this all day long, so it's like nothing to
I
you,
know
right?
I talk fast.
I need people to hear that. They are here because they want to hear DJ Bay. They want to get to know DJ Bay. And so you said you can go back to the beginning. So you skipped yourself, which I love because it's all about generations, right? Generational legacy, generational wealth. And so you started, you said you're who? Your parents, your grandparents?
My great grandparents. So this was back in 1778. This was actually one of the chiefs of the Lenape tribe. It was Chief White Eyes and my uncle Killbuck. Their names are signed on the Delaware Fort Pitt Treaty, and this was the first contract that the United States got into that allowed them to be able to operate on this land. So this is my bloodline on my mother's side, and they still to this day they leverage this treaty, which operates similar to a trust, and we have land in trust. Another one of my grandparents, who was a descendant of the Lenape, was also one of the largest landowners of Alabama at one time.
Wow.
And then we get to the point where my parents we have a, like I said, it said Chief White Eyes, Captain White Eyes. These was also service people in the military, right? My mom and father, they both were enlisted in the Marine Corps, and then my father went to the Army. So I had a military education. So while I'm going to school on Cap Lejeune, in the second grade was my introduction to the stock market. By the time I'm in sixth grade, I have my first business with my oldest son, his godfather. And we called it D&D Lawn Care. And this is also the time when I'm getting introduced to my first economics class.
Pause break.
Yes, ma'am.
You were in the second grade and you had a business?
No, in second grade, I got introduced to stock. I was learning how to trade stock in second grade. In the sixth grade, I had my first business.
Wow. So you mean to tell me a 6-year-old, someone who is in the, maybe if you're sixth grade, maybe you're between 10 and 12.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, around 10, 12.
You had a bona fide business.
Yeah. making money, have flyers and everything.
I love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I wanted to have a pause break there is because what are we doing? What are we doing right now? What are we teaching our children when they're 10, 9, 10? Are we just giving them a tablet and saying, here, leave me alone, go play on this tablet? Are we having them read books that matter? Are we growing their mind? Are we allowing them to be creative? Or are we indoctrinating them to follow the path that has been set for them to learn how to be an employee? How to be an employee. Is that what we're doing? So I challenge each and every one of us to literally think back. Think of some kid, even if your kids are grown or you're an aunt, a grandmother, a godmom, think back to the children that they don't have to be 10 and 11. Just any kid that's from 5 to 18 years old. Let's all play a part. We hear that it takes a village, and it really does. So what role are you playing in this village? I just want to applaud you and your family. I mean, that is absolutely amazing that they introduce you to, first of all, economics in the second grade. I think that is perfect. Why? Because a young mind will grow whichever way you choose it. It's simply a sponge. And that's when you learn the most. That's why they say the first 5 years are the most formidable. And it's so true. And so what you learned from at 5, at 6, at 7, that allowed you to have that business while you're 10, even at 15 and 20, even now to 30, just building on those basic building blocks. So that is awesome. All of us that started entrepreneurship late had a learning curve. You did your learning curve while you were actually growing, while your epiphyseal plates in your legs were growing, your height, you were growing into that entrepreneur, into that goat, into that beast that you are here representing today. So thank you for being here. Now, sixth grade, introduced to economics. There are people who have flunked economics and you had it when you were in the second grade, and sixth grade, you had a bona fide business. So give us fast forward. So with that being said, you traveled all over, military family. Thank you and your family for your service, your family for their services. I love it. My family's Air Force and Marines. They fight all the time at every dinner. It's unbelievable. But I thank people who have sacrificed, their children, their families, their dreams to fight for the United States of America. So shout out to you and your family. Now, let's talk about the T word. You brought up trust. You brought up trust.
Yeah.
You brought up the T word. So we want to know, like, why is a trust?
You had asked before you had asked me what makes me qualified to even talk about this, and that's why I was saying, because even like, okay, I got introduced to economics in the 6th grade. That was just supply and demand. That got me into a position to where I understood I needed a business. I go to college, and then I had dual enrollment, and so I pretty much, by the time I got to college, I was ready to graduate. So I only really had to be in college for a year. Then we start understanding that.
Hold on. No. When you say college, automatically 4 years come into our minds, or 3, like, graduate in 3 years. But you said you went to college for 1 year?
Yeah, we had dual enrollment at my high school, so we were able to get college credits in high school.
Okay, go ahead. I mean, we're listening. We are listening. Give us all the juice, all the gems, all the tea. We're here for it.
I'm just saying, like, this is reasons for qualification. So around this time, I'm coming out of college around 18, 19, and I'm just figuring out what works for me. So because I get into contracting, I had to learn about the UCC, which is the Uniform Commercial Code, which is rules and regulations for business, because we have to put liens on people when they don't pay for stuff like this. So you start learning business, and the UCC, it speaks on trust, and then you start meeting millionaires. I got introduced to somebody who he actually sold his company to True Green, which is like the largest fertilizing company up in the Midwest. So he was a millionaire, and then I'm getting trained by another millionaire who had another landscaping company, and they're just showing me and they're teaching me ways. So just through my network, and also the rooms my parents put me in. My mom used to make me go listen to, I believe it was The Life. It was these big lectures, and it would just be rooms of people, and they would do collective books, and they would speak, and they would make me go to these public speaking things so that I could see how business worked, what wealth looked like. And on top of my education, and then I actually got certified, and I became a tribal attorney for some of the Eastern tribes. So
wow, yeah. Love it. Tribal attorney. I love that.
Wow, so that's why I'm qualified.
Okay, so is that where Trust Fund Baby comes from?
No, actually, I copyright and trademark Trust Fund Baby in 2019. At this time, I just thought it was something that was cool. It was just a logo, and I'm like, yeah, I got a little boy, so I made my son the logo, and then I ended up having 2 more boys. All the boys looked like the baby, and so I ended up winning there. And then it got to the point where it wasn't even that I already had a trust in my family, and then I had made one for myself. My children were beneficiaries, and I started to understand that this is something that was lacking in our community, and people didn't understand how to use it. So then I seen a need for people to be educated in it. So I wrote a book about it. I started providing the service at a very cost-efficient price, because if people don't know, a trust can range anywhere on the low side from $10,000 to $30,000. And how many people can afford to protect their assets in our community at that price point?
Right. Understood. Wow. So what's the name of the book?
I have several. I've written probably like 17 books.
Where can the audience find your book then?
My books are on djbay.com, and they're also on Amazon.
Awesome. All righty. Because I mean, hey, we're avid readers. I mean, I have so many books here. Right here. This book is unbelievable. It's by Elizabeth. It's called I Am Not Yelling.
Put it in front of you. Yeah, screen cut. There you go.
Black Woman's Guide to Navigating Corporate. And this is a book by one of my mentors named Dennis Henson out of Alabama. He is like literally an icon. He's been doing real estate for 40 years. And people used to always ask him, Dennis, how did you make all of your money? Millions and millions of dollars. He owns, like literally he owns Dallas, in my humble opinion, every block. But here's the deal. Everyone would tell him, how did you become so successful? He said, I recommend that everyone reads every day. So he wrote a book called Real Impact, Daily Inspiration. And he says, Tina, some people will have seconds to read. So he has poems. Some people will have minutes to read. So he has literally just quotes. And then he has short stories for people who have, 20 to 30 minutes to read. And the book is just grown like crazy. He has stories of Walt Disney, Les Brown, the man for Hershey's. He has Arnold Schwarzenegger and a plethora of people in this book. It really is making an impact. Please go and get this book.
That sounds very interesting. I like the way how he tailored to different mindsets, because I can read long form, but I also do a lot. So short form is possibly the best. That's the reason why so many people favor social media. But you did mention a specific individual. And when you met me in Atlanta, I actually lectured on Walt Disney and how Disney World is actually operating under trust law. And they are actually considered sovereign because of this particular trust. So, yeah, they've been in place for a long time. And if you've ever been to Disney World in Orlando,
I have. I love it.
Yeah, it's literally a whole state within itself. They have their own law enforcement and everything there, based off of the trust law that they have implemented into their structure. And is nothing stopping anybody from being able to do the same thing for their family.
Wow, that's deep. I love that. I want you to pause right there. Here's the book. I read a book a month at a minimum, right? Because I want to keep my brain pliable and flexible, but most importantly, I want to stretch it. And so here's a book that I'm reading right now. It's called Sell Like Crazy, because I love sales, right? Sales like crazy. He is really a sales machine. This book will flood your business truly and have an outpouring of sales. This book is easy to read, but it's awesome. I've also read and still reading Alex Hormozi. I mean, his book launch was explosive. If you don't know who Alex Hormozi is, I encourage you to go Google him. But I want to talk about reading. So go to Amazon, put DJ Bay, his books will come up. And so DJ, you said, first of all, second grade, introduced to economics. Sixth grade, you had a business. 2019, you trademarked and copywrote Trust Fund Baby because you thought it was cute. And then you said, you know what? I need to start talking about the T word. I need to start teaching people how to develop trust. And so why do you feel, okay, so you gave us your credentials and why you feel that you are a GOAT when it comes to trust, because you grew up in trust, your family signed to trust with the United States of America and a plethora of other things. So what exactly is a trust? Because we hear all this word tossed to and fro a lot of times. When I hear the word trust, words just flood. Matter of fact, if you're watching this live, I want you to go ahead and put in the comment section, whether you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn, when you hear the word trust, we're not talking about your knowledge or your expertise. When you hear the word, what's the first or second word that comes to mind? For me, revocable. I'm closing my eyes, so I'm just hearing the word trust. Revocable, irrevocable, legacy, will, all of these things come into my mind. But DJ, if you could please do us the service, do us the compliment of letting us know exactly what is a trust.
Okay, I'm going to make it very simple because sometimes I use big words. A trust.
Break it down like we're a fifth grader. Break it down.
A trust is this. It is a piece of paper. It is documentation. Within this documentation, there is an agreement, a contract that has a minimum of 3 parties. One party being the one that makes it. So we have the creator. And then we have the party that manages the trust, almost like the power of attorney, which is the trustee. And then we have the individuals who benefit from the trust, the beneficiaries, so your third party. We have creator / grantor. We have the trustee who operates like a power of attorney. They'll open up your bank accounts. They'll send money to your beneficiaries. And then you just got the people who sit back and enjoy all the fruits of the labor from the trust fund babies.
Hey, I'm going to need you to repeat that again. Like that was really simple. Those 3 and with how they benefit and how they work. I love that. So you have, go ahead, DJ. You have the grantor.
The grantor, which is the one who grants the power, also commonly known as the creator. So the creator of the trust. So for the Trust Fund Baby Trust, I will be the grantor or the creator, right? And then my trustee, we have a CFO. So my CFO, which is Danielle will be the trustee. So she'll go open up the bank accounts, and then my children will be listed as my beneficiaries or other people in the Trust Fund Baby community based on all of the work and the assets that we acquire over time. the trustee will ensure that they get paid dividend payouts or get whatever they're supposed to get from the trust whenever it's listed in the document that they're supposed to get it, whether if that's weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly.
Love that. Wow. And I love the way you said, hey, this is the person that puts it in place. This is the person that manages. And the beneficiaries are the people who just enjoy the fruit of the labor.
That's the trust fund babies. Like when we think about what we know as wealth in the United States, we think about families in most cases.
Yes.
Whether it's the Queen or now King Charles, or if it's the Walton family who owns Walgreens and Walmarts, or if it's the Rockefellers who are responsible for the whole employment industry as a whole, or if it's the Rothschild family who actually funded the Vatican over $40 million. And that's the reason why the Vatican is its own country with the trust situation. So families are what run countries. Yeah, 40 million. So the Vatican had went into a bad time. This is like 1880s, I believe. Or excuse me, early 1800s, around 1820s. And the Vatican, they started losing money. So they went to the Rothschilds, and the Rothschilds was a very wealthy family, and the Rothschilds bailed the Vatican out. And then years later, we see the Vatican being represented as its own government, having its own bank, and also having its own laws and rules and regulations. It's a sovereign place based off of them being funded by one wealthy family. So then you go back and you look at what did these families do in order to assert themselves into these situations. There's patterns to wealth. And one thing I did when I started looking into these patterns, I seen all these people had trust. So why don't we?
Boom. That was a mic drop right there. All of the wealthy, the elite wealthy, the ultra rich have trust. Why don't we? Why don't you? Why do you have a trust? If you have a trust already, go ahead and drop it. The T word in the comments, trust. I just want to call you out and applaud you for, hey, I can put my name in the chat now. Hey. I love it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. Like, we want to enjoy our fruit of our labor. I understand that, you want to make sure you have your life insurance, you have your trust, you have your wills, you have all of these things so you can enjoy your children, right? And your children's children and your children's children can enjoy all of these things. But why not have that in place? And you get to enjoy the fruit of your labor as well, like right now. Like I told my daughter, hey, listen, I am making sure you're taken care of, but I am going to enjoy the fruit of my labor as well. I am headed to Dubai on Tuesday. I just came from
always in Dubai. You in Dubai every week.
Yes. And so I just want to encourage you to, and those of you, this is where my heart is. Like for those of you who are saying, you know what, I don't have anything to put in a trust. I don't have anything that is not true. I want you to book a consultation with DJ Bay and let him explain to you that it doesn't work like that. You can still have a trust.
I can say it right now, just so because I want everybody to understand that you're completely right. If you have family, if you have yourself, you can literally list yourself. And if you write books, if you have a company, if you have business, if you have thoughts, like literally intellectual property is assets. If you have an idea, you can write it on paper and you can put it in a trust, and now it's protected. Now, if somebody tries to steal your idea, that puts you in a different legal realm because trust laws are different from regular statutes and codes, what people deal with. They literally have a whole separate court for when things happen with the trust. So it's a different level of protection that you're allotted. And this is what you want to be able to have. And one thing I had expressed when we did the lecture in Atlanta, you don't see a lot of SEC lawsuits against trust. You don't see a lot of lawsuits against trust at all because of the level of protection. That's what I'm saying. And we're doing business and LLCs and things like that. Even we have insurance. You mentioned insurance. Yes. A lot of people, they talk about infinite banking, but the only way that you can even potentially operate in an infinite banking system is by having the trust, and you appoint the assurance policy appoint the trust as the beneficiary of the insurance policy. That's the only way you can do it. So you need a trust still. So even just thinking about the assets that a regular person may have that they may overlook, some people, you have books in your home. Books can be passed down. Books are assets. Some people have firearms. Those are assets. A lot of people have jewelry. Some people got Birkin bags. These are all listed as assets.
Wow.
And you're like, I don't have anything. You've put your money somewhere. You just don't understand where the value lies in order for you to be able to itemize it and put it on documentation. And that's what I help people to do.
Wow. Boom. Work with DJ Bay at the bottom of the screen. Work with DJ Bay. I love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you for that. Okay. So so you explained how you got into teaching, and I appreciate that. You talked about like literally what is a trust? It's a paperwork, and in that paperwork, it's the frame that creates a trust. So 2 questions. What's the difference between a revocable and an irrevocable trust? And how do you determine which one is best for you or your business?
So we were looking at something that can be changed versus something that's not supposed to be changed. Revoke to take back, irrevocable, meaning it's supposed to be permanent. The thing is about this, just being realistic, revocable trust, it is, if you Google it, revocable trusts are not good for asset protection. They're good in order for you to hold things temporarily. So revocable trusts work better as business trust because you may hold an asset that you may have to transfer out to a party depending on what the relationship is. Now, when we're talking about things for your family to inherit, those are irrevocable trusts because once you put it there, you don't want nobody to be able to take it or remove it. So if I say that my children inherit my house in Michigan and then they also get my silver portfolio, I don't want that to ever be changed unless I say it can be changed.
Wow.
Now, with a revocable, I know people who have attempted to sell real estate in an irrevocable trust and they wouldn't do it. But if you had a revocable trust and you wanted to transfer a house, it's easier for you to do the transfer out. But then the person who receives the property, they inherit capital gains tax that you don't have when you use a trust.
Right. I love that. Woo, talk knowledge nuggets. I love it. North King said best in the game. I love it. Coach Tammy Watson said going to check out the book. Thanks, Coach T. Yes, love it. Let's see. James Lyon said T for trust. I said put the T in the chat. Char Singleton. She says, what's his name again? I'm sorry, he came in late. Coach DJ Bay, Char, DJ Bay. She says, does he do one-on-one? Char, it's like, does he do one-on-one? Yes, Go to workwithdjbay.com, workwithdjbay.com. Thank you, Char, for being there. Char is a broker, a real estate agent. She knows literally about protecting your legacy through real estate. She owns property. She made sure that all of her children are really set up for success. So thank you, Char, for being here. Thank you, Jamal. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Candy. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Amy. Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. Yes, if you want to work with DJ Bay, go to workwithdjbay.com, workwithdjbay.com. There you go. Okay, so now we talked about trust. We talked about how you got involved in trust and why they're so important. I want to know, just name the top 3 benefits, because I got a text message that says, Tina, I still don't understand why I should have one if I don't own property or assets, and are they expensive? So I would love for you to address that. You've addressed it before, but if you can just do a soft touch on that once again for the people who came in late, for the people who either this is their first time really having a conversation about trust. See, because if you don't come for wealth or it's not a perpetual thing in your bloodline, then you just hear it just by being at a conference, hearing it on YouTube, on the news, etc., reading it in a newspaper. So they're like, hey, I need to know about trust. I want to know.
I have to think about it because I'm like, how can I make it super layman's, that way you can understand this is helpful for you, and then it's just better to be preventative versus being reactionary. So when that came to mind, the thought was, I remember a situation happened to me when I was younger because I was ignorant and I was banking with the wrong EIN number. I had the bank allowed a transaction to come out of my bank account, right? And then ever since I started banking with the trust account, because of the laws associated with a trust, nobody can garnish or take anything from me anymore because of the protections.
Pause, break, pause, break. So you're saying if you open a bank account in your trust and you owe back taxes, just as an example, or if you
they can't touch that money,
default on a loan or anything of that nature, you mean
they can't touch that money.
The IRS cannot send a letter to the bank that says we are requesting that you withhold these funds and transform to us. They cannot garnish your wages. They cannot take your money out of the bank. Is that what you're saying? Like, is that what I'm hearing?
Not with a trust. If you had a LLC, yes. If you had a corporation, yes, because most people get them with their social security numbers and they're attached to both. With a trust, no, they cannot do it. There are laws that say they cannot do it.
Okay. Question. So let's just say some of our listeners, some of our attendees, some of our past special guests, some of our upcoming special guests, they are listening to this and they're like, oh man, I already have my LLC. Is there a way that they can establish a trust now? Establish a trust, transfer their LLC ownership to the trust. Will they still have the same protection?
Yes, I'll explain the process just so people can understand how thorough I am at this. So
go for it. Let's go. Are you guys listening? I need to see an emoji, an ear emoji that you're listening. I need to see pen and paper that you're here, because here's what I want to share with you all. He is not getting paid to be here. This is a contribution. Once you reach a certain level of success, here's what's transformational. We all can make money doing anything, literally thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions, multiple millions to billions of dollars doing anything. But you know what happens? You have to start living a life beyond just simply success and making money, and start living a life of significance and contribution. That's what Sunday Speaker Series is all about. The people that I named previously in the DJ Bay, as well as the people that coming after him, they are making a contribution. Why? It's their give back. So I'm inviting you to make sure that if you cannot watch physically, that you go back and it be one thing that you literally listen to undistracted. Because I can tell you this, the information that he's giving, you can have a one-on-one consultation, and the information that he's sharing, you won't get all of it because you will have a specific questions. Well, he will give you what you asked for. Here, you're getting the buffet. So you get to choose which part applies to you, which part applies to your business, and which part applies to generating wealth. So DJ Bay, back over to you. The steps to protecting yourself even after you have an LLC. The floor is yours.
Okay, and before I get into that, which is going to be, oh, you got me split. There we go. Before I get into that, if you all have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And this is the best time because a lot of you have a lot of the same questions. So if I can answer it once, I may be able to answer for somebody else. So please ask. Now, the easiest way in order to protect yourself, when you have already went and gave the IRS your social security number in order for you to conduct the business, because I tell this story often. I have a business partner. He made a lot of money. He do very well for himself. And he ended up racking up almost $60,000 in taxes. When he did not pay that, the IRS sent him a bill in his name personally. Now, if this was done where the trust owned the business, the easiest way to do that, so you have something, it's a piece of paper in the trust. It's called a Schedule A. A Schedule A is the list of all of the property that the trust will own. So all I would do is put Trust Fund Baby LLC here, and I will say that it is the property of this trust. And then I will go and update my articles of incorporation and my bylaws, and I will say that Trust Fund Baby LLC is owned by Trust Fund Baby Trust. And then I have just that is people will charge you thousands of dollars for that information I just told you. That is all it takes in order to do an asset transfer when it comes to that. And then you update your articles and your information in the state where you have registered your business, if you have registered it in a state. And then in order to change it, so I have a handful of SS4s. SS4s are applications in order to get EINs. These are all for different people trust, right? So what you will have to do, it is write this down. You can Google it. The IRS has a form. It is called a 8832. It is a reclassification form. If you want to change the EIN number that is responsible for your business, that is the document that you must use. So you will then use the trust EIN number that you get with an SS4 or when you go to irs.gov, and you will say that that is the responsible party for that LLC now instead of your social security number. And that's it. And that was probably something that you will pay an attorney anywhere from $2,500 to $10,000 for.
Listen up. Global Women Speakers will always bring you the best of the best. This is the GOAT edition of Sunday Speaker Series, sponsored by Global Women Speakers. I told you I would bring the best of the best. And I just want to give a huge shout out to none other than DJ Bay for being here, for your time. We have a couple more questions. We have people dropping in the chat. Like, we got to get these questions. Shar is like, protecting protection. I love that. Protecting protection. Sure. Also, okay, sure.
That's funny because there's gun trust. Like, my family has a gun trust. So there are
pause break. A gun trust? I've never heard of that. What is
there? There are so many different types of trust, and that's what people have to understand. You can protect everything. So there are firearm trusts, and even the ATF understand these laws, because if you're somebody my parents are military, so we grew up on base. So if you're somebody who has high caliber weapons, or if you have silencers and things like that, you can buy these things with the gun trust, and all of the beneficiaries, like the family members, are allowed to use the firearms legally as long as they're listed in the trust. And all of these people don't understand how much guns cost. Those are all assets that can be sold at any point in time as well. So we then have a listed price point for the price of all of the firearms. And then we can get a loan based off of our guns.
Wow. Wow. Who would have thought that you can use a firearm as collateral? Like, this is new information.
That's why people got assets. They just don't know their assets.
Mm. All right. So yes, a gun is an asset. It's over, $1,000, $2,000, sometimes $4,000, depending.
No, they're literally, firearms are listed as assets. Books are listed as assets. Jewelry, commodities, land, homes, intellectual property, tech. Like, even if you got old iPhones and stuff like that, after a certain amount of time, if you some people are hoarders. People don't know what they got in their house. Y'all, people sitting on money and don't know it.
I love it. Listen, if you're a hoarder and you have old iPhones, you can mail them to me at P.O. Box. I love it. It's kind of ironic that he mentioned iPhone, because for those of you who know me personally, my communication, my iPhone just went white. I thought it was literally, upgrading on the new iOS system or something of that nature. The screen went blank. It was clear white. And then it went black. I could not answer my phone. I could not see who was calling. I could not text or answer text messaging. I couldn't check my email. I couldn't even get into my bank account because of the two-part authentication. It went to my phone as the place, so I could not see anything. It was totally horrible. But me, I just make the best out of everything. I said, okay, I need this downtime. I didn't stress about it. I said, when it comes back on, I'll get it. I take my phone to the Apple store, and they're like, you know what? You just need a new phone. So guess what I did? I got a new phone, and that was the 14. So I got the 15. So I have now a 10S, and I also have the 14 Pro Max just sitting on the side. And I wish I would have known, because I had it was like an 8 or something, but I gave it to a friend of mine who ships old technology to third world countries so they can have, iPhones, etc., because they're really expensive in Nigeria and in South Africa. So that's awesome. Okay, so DJ, you talked about trust, what it is, why we need it. I want you to talk about two more things. How
one real, I don't mean to stop you, but pause break, like how you said. You said why you need it. Like, if I explain that every wealthy person have one, if you want to be wealthy, why do you think that's something that you don't need? Okay, I'm done.
Look. Okay, wait. Mic drop. True, right? Because success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. We all want, and wealth is something that's subjective. It's totally defined by what you want it to be, right? But we'll say if you want any type of freedom, if you want to make sure that when you transition, when you're no longer here, and you want to make sure that your children and your children's children, even if it's just, your mom, it could be your grandparent, it could be your spouse, it could be a friend, it could be your organization, it could be your alma mater, like your school. You want to make sure that you can create something that outlives you. Then I would highly recommend a trust. We talked about how you got into it, the importance of a trust. Now I want to talk about, like, what's the best structure for your business, and also how do you get government contracts?
Okay, so
best for your business, and then how do you get government contracts? How many of you, wait, before he shares, how many of you want to know how to get government contracts? I know you want to do business with the government, because one thing about the government, they never run out of money, regardless of what they say, what people think. You want to do business with people who can just go and print more money. Trust me, I wish I had a machine over here, a printer where I can go and just say, you know what? I need 10,000. Let me go print $10,000, right? How many of you would like to have a press machine in your house and you can wake up and print money that you need for that day? So you want to do business with the government. They always have money. And so DJ is going to talk about how to do business with the government and have government contracts. But before he does that, we want to know simply what's the best structure for your business, because it's always up for debate, whether it's an LLC with a S or a C Corp taxation, whether it's a partnership or a corporation. So DJ Bay, over to you.
So to properly answer that question, it is based off of the tax liability that you're looking for, and also what it is that you believe you're going to need in your business. So if you're somebody who isn't making over $50,000, or you have no intention on breaking 50, you can stay in the LLC realm. Now, if you want funding and you plan on bringing in a lot of money and scaling a business, you need a corporation, because banks favor corps. LLCs, even in the name, and this is something that one of the elders is famous for saying, it was like, it says liability in the name. Why would a bank favor something that also says liability and that level of protection?
Okay, I'm done on that. I'm done. Like,
I know everybody got an LLC, but the thing is, you want to be in a position where you can have a good relationship with a financial institution and they'll feel comfortable giving you lump sums of money. And they are more favorable of corporations in reality over LLCs. So even understanding that if I can protect myself by I can have both. You can have an LLC and a corporation. You just have to make sure that you manage the amount of money that you put into each business, so you always understand your tax liability. So this is when in our company we teach the Trinity aspect of the business. We usually do 3 different trusts. We have a family trust, a business trust, and a charitable trust. But just from these being the principle that we operate off of, this is the same mindset that we roll over into our corporations and our LLCs. So listen to me, because tax evasion is illegal. Tax avoidance is a practice that wealthy people do every day. So listen to what I say well. A business trust, a family can acquire all of these assets and then they can have a business trust, right? And then the family trust can offload some of the tax liability to the business based on the things that it does. Now, a charitable trust can take donations from other people and other companies and foundations, like the Bill Gates Foundation, like a charitable trust, right? And then per the donations, This, you will be able to offload tax liability. So if one business donates to a charity, that then lowers your tax liability. But you need to be able to have enough cups in order for you to be able to maneuver through. Most people are still stuck on their one LLC. When you look at people like Citadel, Ken Griffin, who is one of the wealthiest financial advisors, and their company does very well. That man has almost 50 different businesses on his business bubble, with Citadel being at the center and this one controlling this and this and this and this and this and this. You need to have the ability in order to offload. You need to be able to donate. Even if you have a friend who has a charity, and then you have a charity, and then you take your business liability and then you donate money to their charity. This is what companies do at the end of the year, every year. And this is what diversity, equity, inclusion was for a lot of companies at the end of the year, because they need to offload all of this money for taxation purposes. They just donate it to other programs. And that's what Amazon was famous for in the last few years. But there's patterns to success. You just have to understand what it is you're looking for and what your end goal is. If mine is wealth, I'm going to look at the wealth patterns. And I recommend y'all do the same. Now, when it comes to government contracting, your business structure will dictate how you are able to government contract. And most people feel like they should government contract in a field that they know. No, you should government contract in a field that pays. Because the thing that most people don't realize is you can sub the work out to another company. You just need to be able to find it, because I have no expertise in elevator maintenance. But if I see an elevator contract that I can acquire, I will find a company that goes fix elevators, and then we'll take our portion and we'll pay them. And I can do this time and time again. I actually don't have to go labor, because government contracting allows subcontractors to be hired. And sometimes they just want you to be a foreman on the site. All the way from selling, I know 8-9 figure people who are government contractors who started off selling toilet paper, had no background in toilet paper, and they were making almost like 60K contracts off toilet paper sales. The thing is, when it comes to government contracting, your first goal is to get on SAMS.gov, get your cage number, and make sure you can even get in the system. And then from there, you build and adjust. But a lot of you have to understand and learn the system, and also know that it's not about what you want. It's about what's good for the business always. With that being said, get the money. Don't think about, oh, this contract fits me. Oh, I can do this. No. What can the business do, and what network does your business have in order for you to bring in more cash flow so that you can keep scaling up?
Boom. Boom. There, I mean, what else is there? Like, that is so public and private. Public and private. Public and private. So if you were listening to DJ Bay, he said go to sam.gov, and make sure you can get registered with the government entity, the government of your choice. They go there and they look for companies. You heard how he said, like, you just find a need and fill it. It doesn't have to be your passion. It doesn't have to be your gift.
If I can explain how the government works really quickly, like, we have a R&D company, and they will send out contracts for the eradication of something, and they want to know, how can we make it better? So they wanted to know, how could they destroy something, but also how they could make it better. They'll pay you for the information on both sides. That's 2 contracts. And you can be the one who supplies both. Like, you just got to go look. It's so much money out there. And one thing about the government, they pay on time, all the time, every time.
Say that again.
They pay on time, all the time, every time.
Say that again.
On time, every time. The check never be late.
Yes, absolutely. And so, DJ, it's been an hour that you've been here just dropping these gems, sharing your intellectual property, things that you have literally learned. And I'm sure somewhere in there you spent thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to learn, and you're sharing it here totally complimentary, giving of your time, making a contribution to global women speakers on our Sunday Speaker Series. And I just wanted to say thank you. Shukriya, that means thank you in Hindi. Thank you, gracias in Spanish. Mercy, thank you so much for being here. So now here's the hard questions. You ready? Are you ready for the hard questions?
Yes, but first I want to say, one, thank you for having me. You know, I love you, and we always have a good time. Even though you be being real, like y'all, she be being mean to me. Don't let the smile fool you. No, but it's all love. But and even in our language in Lenape and Muncie, our Unami, it is we say thank you, Wanishi.
Wainishi. Wainishi. I want you guys, how do you spell Wainishi?
Wanishi.
Wainishi. So Wainishi is thank you. I love that, you guys. So what I would like to do now is I would like for you to answer the hard questions, right? We talked about what is a trust, and you shared that it's just simply, a piece of paper. Simply a piece of paper. It's what's inside of it. It's the content that makes it a trust. You talked about what was the best structure for your business. You also shared how you got started. You talked about how to get government contracts, go to sam.gov, etc. And so I want to know if someone would love to spend time with you outside of being at Moguls and Mimosas. They get to spend some one-on-one time with you because you are one of the speakers, which is going to be awesome. DJ is also going to be at GlobalCon. GlobalCon is Global Women Speakers Theme Annual Conference. It's going to be unbelievable. We're also having, of course, Moguls and Mimosas in Miami for the East Coast and in the Marina for the West Coast. And we're also having a men's conference. You want to make sure that you tap into this men's conference because the men that's going to be here are absolutely no joke at all. Like literally no joke at all. Now, if you thought the G.O.A.T series from having Kate Hancock, Les Brown, DJ Bay, and all of these people, Bill Walsh, who is the #1 business expert. If you can just imagine when we have the compilation, the grand finale of the G.O.A.T series, we're going to have all of them on at once. It's going to be fire. It's going to be powerful. You guys, look, I'm getting my little muscles back. At first I was starting to get auntie arms. I was like, what's that? So I had to start doing some tricep dips, but that's just a side note. So the hard questions, DJ Bay, how old are you?
That's a hard question. I'm 33 right now.
33 years old. You guys, 33 years old. Doesn't he have a wealth of knowledge? I want you to go ahead and to drop 33 or drop the emoji of the diamond if you feel that he dropped gems and nuggets, right? He didn't drop gem and nuggets. He dropped the entire blueprint of how to get to the bag, how to create a trust, why you need one, etc. And so you talked about you created your logo, a baby, right? Because you had a son at the time. How many children do you have currently?
All right. I said that like I didn't know. I got 3 boys.
Boys? All boys?
All boys. I'm fortunate. This is our company logo right here.
Oh, that is so cute. Look at the little baby, the trust fund baby. I love that. Thanks for sharing. So he has 3 boys. Talk about legacy. Talk about, creating your last name, because here's the deal. Walmart is a last name. Nordstrom is a last name. Macy's is a last name. Rolls Royce is a last name. Come on, you guys, like crazy. Disney is a last name. And so we're definitely creating a legacy, building it for our last name, something that outlasts us. So the real hard question, DJ, is 3 things. Number 1, how much are you charging? How much is the investment for a trust? Only if they mention Sunday Speaker Series or Global Women Speakers. What is the one-time offer for this episode if they do it today and today only?
For the link that you have I gave you for Global Women Speakers, I believe it's...
You don't have to say the price. I'll just send them the link.
Yeah, I'm about to say they have a dramatically discounted price for global women speakers. It's dramatically discounted because Tina do a lot for me, and she just helps me with networking and business. Even with the last event that I just did in Atlanta, the information that she told me to do for my vending table, it would help me dramatically. So it's like I told her, I don't mind sharing, and that was one of the main reasons why I got into this, because I know people need it, but for her, like I'm helping out a lot.
Yes, absolutely. He's doing a lot for global women speakers. It's all about the network, right? You know, you heard the saying, your network is your net worth. It's totally true. And then when you bring strategic alliances together, then you share networks. And so that's what it's all about. And I would not have met DJ Bay if it was not for Mr. DeMott Nixon, who has shared tons of things in regards to credit, talks about trust and things of that nature. And so, DeMont, I just wanted to say thank you. If you ever watch this or see this, thank you for connecting me with some amazing people. I am forever grateful for that. And so, with that being said, you guys, it is the top of the hour. DJ stayed longer. Well, drove from Tennessee, had to hurry up and get home for this because he wanted to be stationary and he wanted to bring you the best of the best. Right. And so it's not about sharing things that we just learned, that we're just simply regurgitating. We're literally giving you what we've learned, what we've taught. Right. I have a saying, learn, teach, do. You learn it. Right. You learn it, you do it, and you teach it. You learn it, you do it, and you teach it. Learn, teach, do. So that's exactly what we're doing next week. I'm not going to tell you who's going to be. I'm just going to say it's the last Sunday. DJ, can you come back next week?
I should be available. Yeah. I'm going to be in Florida. I'm going to be back home. I should be available. Yeah.
Okay. So he's going to check his schedule. So if you are watching the replay and you're like, dang, I wish I would have caught it live, block your calendars. It's after church. I know you want to go eat and go get your phone, pull it up, Sunday Speaker Series, watch it. It's going to be epic. Next week, we're going to have Justin Ford. Justin, listen, this guy went from being a gang member to being on drugs to being a multi-7-figure income earner in real estate. He's out of Michigan. He's unbelievable. Like, I am not going to steal his thunder. I'm just going to tell you that you want to be there because he's going to tell you how to buy property for $1,000. Property for $1,000. Like, that's unbelievable, right?
Oh, yeah.
Buy an asset. So, DJ, you know something about real estate as well. So let's talk about.
I'm about to say I bought my first house for $1,200. It's a 2-family flat. I still have it to this day.
$1,200.
Yeah, $1,200.
Okay, so did they have to do with a tribal law? Was it the SEC? Was it the UCC?
No, it's literally understanding the city and the state rules that are in place and knowing that they have a land bank and there are tax deeds and tax liens that are available everywhere. And all I had to do was
everywhere. Wait, hold on. Everywhere.
In every state, there are tax deeds or tax liens. And all I had to do was go look on my county site and I seen a house. I went and I drove over there and I'm like, okay. And what I did was I waited till the end of the bid and like how you said, $1,000. I had to pay $1,000. So somebody bid one time, it went up to $1,100. And then I bid one more time. It was 10 minutes left on the bid. They stopped bidding. I won $1,200. I got the house.
So it's that simple because you make it sound like it's elementary.
That's exactly what happened for me. I'm not lying.
Okay. So guess what? If it happens for you, it's going to happen for me. So DJ, you're going to have to share some of those sites with global women speakers and we're going to go and do something collectively. So thank you for being here. You guys, it has been an absolute blast. Once again, if you
Before we go, because I want to make sure I get this on camera. She's going to be on Trust Fund Baby podcast. So make sure y'all tune in for that as well.
See what he did? He got it recorded. I have to do it now because he said it on Sunday Speaker Series. I absolutely love it, DJ. I love it. So documentation beats conversation. So he got it totally documented. So thank you for the invite. I would love to be a guest on the Trust Fund Baby podcast. You guys, so listen, workwithdjbay.com. Go to workwithdjbay.com. And if you are a GOAT, you're like, you know what? I'm a GOAT. Why am I not on there? Well, guess what? Send me an email. Send me an email ASAP. Send it to speak@globalwomenspeakers.com. Speak@globalwomenspeakers.com. There is a vetting process. You will complete an intake form, but the goal is this. The goal is to make sure that the information that you share is organic, is truly your information. It's who you are. It's what you do. It's your information. We don't want you to come and tell us what someone told you unless they were your mentor and you've mastered it. Does that make sense? Here on the Sunday Speaker Series, we want to make sure that it's organic, that it's authentic, that people are operating with integrity. And if you say you're going to do something for our members, for our listeners, we will hold you to it. I don't care if you have a trust. We will hold you to it. We will hold you to it. But I am just totally flabbergasted and always just overwhelmed with the outflow of contribution that my mentors, my colleagues, my friends, the people that I admire pour into Global Women Speakers. I mean, anything from speaking abroad to traveling to CDs to AI. I mean, we are mastering and hammering AI like nobody's business. The things that I have learned over the last 6 months have been bar none the absolute best. I want to encourage each of you to tap into artificial intelligence, tap into technology, because the world is changing. I don't want you to get left behind. A couple of days ago, we had a technical blackout. All flights were grounded. Do you know I went to In-N-Out? Yes, I got a protein style burger, and they came to the door and they said, you know what? We're only taking cash. And everybody started getting out of line. So ultimately, I was the two people that only had cash. And I know there's a lot of people telling you, get rid of your cash, the dollar is garbage, and all of these things. And it may be some validity to that. But I just want to share, I want you to keep cash on you at all times, because in any glitch and you can't use your ATM, I don't care if you have, 1.5 million or you have $10 in your account, you can't get it out. Keep cash on you at all times. That's number one. Number two, make sure you learn a skill set that's going to propel and perpetuate you and catapult you into the next 5 years. What are you learning today that's going to be valid 5 and 10 years from now? Because I remember going to school for pre-med and medicine. I remember my friends who went to school for psychology, sociology, and all of the other ologies. They pretty much had to go back and get a doctorate to simply make money in their field. And today is no different. There are people who are making money by creating faceless and digital products. Next week, we're going to have my sister. She is a beast. Talk about GOAT. She is the queen. She has three Instagram accounts. Three Instagram accounts. They're faceless. Now she makes over 7 figures with each of them. Could you imagine having 3 7-figure social media accounts that brings in 7 figures? Like, that's what you're going to hear about next week. You want to show up because she's going to take you from scratch into 7 figures. This girl is badass. She just had the top 100 women's conference with Elena Cardone. And what we're getting ready to do in the future, you guys, it's all about collaboration, but it's going to be game over. Not game on, but game over. And so DJ Bay, thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, please go to workwithdjbay.com, workwithdjbay.com. It's right there on the screen. Work with DJ Bay. On his site, you'll be able to find his books. You'll be able to find his consulting, his coaching. You'll be able to initiate, get your trust started today. Get your trust started today. Mention Sunday Speaker Series or Global Women Speakers, and you would get a tremendous discount, literally tremendous. It's a steal. It's kind of like you're going to feel so bad. You're going to be like, here, bruh, here's an extra whatever, because you're going to feel so bad about it. But also go to globalwomenspeakers.com. We would love to have you. We are the #1 platform for women entrepreneurs to share their message, speak on stages around the globe, sell their products internationally, and network with other women around the world. My name is Dr. Tina D. Lewis, and I approve this message. I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being present or even watching the replay and listening to myself of Global Women Speakers on our Sunday Speaker Series, the GOAT edition with the GOAT himself, DJ Bay. Bye for now. Mwah. Thanks, DJ.
Thank you.
All righty, that is it. Thank you for being here. I am Dr. Tina D. Lewis. I thank you so much for being here. We have a plethora of events coming up, and if you want to be a part in any capacity, you want to speak, you want to be a vendor, you want us to promote your book, you want us to put you on stage at your favorite place, because here's the deal, it's not about going to those places, and it's simply about speaking there, but it's also what happens while we're there, the people that we meet, the excursions, in Dubai, dinner in the sky. Could you imagine being suspended high up in the sky and eating a 5-course meal? What about yacht parties? What about simply going into the old Dubai? What about meeting sheikhs? What about going to specially invited events? The last time I was in Dubai, which was just in May, I was invited to a fashion show that was sponsored by Vogue. Unbelievable. Speechless. It was epic. And there's so many things that are happening. Stay tuned to globalwomenspeakers.com. We would love to have you, ladies, if you feel that you are aligned with 5 core values. Number 1, charity. Yes, it has to be charity. You have to be a part of something that's bigger than you, and you have to give back, right? I mentioned that at one point in your life, you have to be get past a point of simply being successful and making money and start living a life of significance and contribution. So number 1 is charity. Number 2 is culture. The culture of giving, not like-minded, but being aligned with like-hearted women. Number 3, community. You want a community of women that support you, that show up and show out, that if you wrote a book and you want to go bestseller, that they're going to buy that book, that if they know of a client, a person, a friend, a family member, that they will refer it to you. You want to have a community of women who are like-hearted. Number 4, communication. It's called speakers. You want people that will share their message, share their voice, share their expertise, share their genius with you and the world. And number 5 is collaboration. If you have a women's organization, or you are a speaker, or you have any type of network of women, then we would like to align and partner with you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sunday Speaker Series, the GOAT edition, sponsored by Global Women Speakers. And my name is Dr. Tina D. Lewis, and I am humbled to be here with you today. I want to say thank you to DJ Bay, who was the guest today, but also to each and every guest that has ever graced the stage of our Sunday Speaker Series. We started in December of 2022, and so I am literally overjoyed and overwhelmed. I ask God to bless you, to bless your family, and to bless your dreams. This series, this edition is officially a wrap. Bye for now. Mwah.